If you think sailing on a billion-dollar ultra-luxury ship requires a millionaire's bank account, you are looking at the wrong spreadsheets. I have analyzed 2,000 sailings to find the top 6 luxury crossings for late 2026. These are the specific voyages where your price per day drops to as low as $283, but your lifestyle remains 100% millionaire. I looked at 6 incredible opportunities. I fell in love with 3 of them, but I only put my own credit card down for 1. Stick around to the end, and I will tell you exactly which itinerary won my money and why. But as usual, you know me, in the description you will find the link to my spreadsheet. Do your own analysis. But before I give you the list, we need to agree on what luxury actually is. Because if you think luxury is a bath towel folded into the shape of a swan, you are going to hate these ships. I recently stayed at an hotel. They marketed itself as performative luxury. And you know how they proved it? By folding my damp towel into a swan. As if drying my face with a piece of origami is the height of sophistication. This is the lie we are sold. We are told that luxury is a gold tap, it is a monogrammed robe, it is a chocolate on the pillow that you are afraid to eat because you brushed your teeth 3 hours ago. But high net worth individuals, the people who actually own the buildings, not the ones renting the penthouses, they know the truth. They know that these things are just theater. Real luxury is not a thing you can touch. Real luxury is the absence of friction. It is silence, it is space. It is a bartender who pours you a double, not because it's on the menu, but because he saw you reading a sad book and you needed it. It is behavioral intelligence, not a dry cognac macaroon on a plate in your room. So at 2 a.m. last Tuesday, fueled by too much caffeine, I found the Anti-Origami cruises. 6 transatlantic crossings where we can sail like millionaires, pay like middle management, and crucially never ever see a waterslide. Let's get into the list. But before we reveal the list, you need to understand my vetting process. How do I, Alex, separate the floating malls from the floating palaces? I use the Ristretto Test. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Alex, it's just been water. If that is you, please click away now. Go watch a video about go-karts. But for the gentleman here, you understand. A true ristretto is a test of a ship's soul. It requires 18 grams of coffee, 15 milliliters of water, extracted in exactly 17 seconds. And it must be served in a preheated, thick-walled demitasse. If you serve a ristretto in a cold cup, you get thermal shock. The oils collapse, the crema dies, it is a tragedy in porcelain. Most cruise lines fail this test. They give you a bucket of hot milk and call it a latte. The 6 ships I have chosen today, they pass. They understand that detail is not about gold leaf. It is about temperature, timing, and respect for the bean. Now, let's talk money. Because even though we want to live like millionaires, we don't want to spend like them. I am going to teach you a term, the millionaire's inefficiency. Wealthy people are obsessed with time. To a millionaire, a 14-day crossing from Barcelona to Miami is a nightmare. It is inefficient. They want to snap their fingers and be in the Caribbean. So they fly. This creates a massive problem for the luxury cruise lines. They must move their ships to the warm weather for winter. They can't leave them in Europe to freeze. So they have these incredible billion-dollar vessels sailing across the Atlantic. And the millionaires aren't on them. There you are, joking with my accent. This is where we come in. We are the efficiency solution. To fill these ships, the lines drop the prices to levels that, frankly, look like a mistake. We get the same white glove service, the same Michelin star food, and the same 600 thread count sheets. But because we are willing to suffer through 14 days of relaxation at sea, we pay a fraction of the cost. I have broken this down into 2 tiers. The luxury tier for the sophisticated value hunter, and the ultra luxury tier, for the man who wants to know what it feels like to have a butler iron his socks. Let's start with the luxury tier. These ships are for the man who appreciates quality but demands value. But warning, these are not ordered by your vacation investment. We already established that luxury is not a gold tab or a monogrammed robe. But talking about investment, the values I will give you is for a cabin. It sleeps 2. Number 3 is the Azamara Quest. Now, I want you to look at this number. $283 per day for 2. I have stayed in airport motels that cost more than that, and they didn't include a sunset. The Quest is a small ship. It holds about 700 guests. This is key. It's not a city, it's a neighborhood. The vibe here is clubhouse. The secret weapon of this ship is a room called the Den. It has comfortable chairs, a piano, and a bartender who doesn't need to ask for your room card after the second day. You are sailing from Malaga straight to Miami. For 13 days, you are paying $283 to be treated like a local celebrity. Number 2 on my list is the Viking Sky. If the Azamara Quest is a cozy clubhouse, the Viking Sky is a modern art museum. The price is around $477 per day. But here is what you are really paying for. The word no. No casinos, no photographers jumping out from behind plants to take your picture, and most importantly, no children under 18. The emotion on this ship is tranquility. The design is Scandinavian. It's all light wood, limestone, and woven textiles. It feels elfy just looking at it. And the coffee? They have proper baristas in the living room that are surprisingly competent. But better yet, spiked coffee. Irish or Nelson coffee in style. The staff are trained in what I call Nordic hospitality. They aren't in your face, they are present but invisible, like a good ghost. But the number 1 spot in the luxury tier goes to the freshest face in the fleet, the Oceania Allura. She is the 2025 debutante, now entering her sophomore season for late 2026. This is actually the golden window for a ship. She is still pristine, the carpets haven't seen a drop of red wine, but the crew has had a year to perfect the service. You are getting the new ship smell without the inaugural shakedown headaches. Now, Oceania claims to have the finest cuisine at sea. Usually that's marketing fluff, but on Oceania it is a threat. They will feed you until you surrender. We are talking about the red ginger for Asian fusion, Toscana for Italian, and you don't pay extra for these specialty restaurants. It is all included in the fare of $587 per day. But the real look for me? Baristas. They have a dedicated coffee bar with a view of the pool deck. They use a manual espresso machine, a lever machine. This requires skill. It is the closest you will get to an Italian piazza in the middle of the ocean. Now we graduate. We are leaving the world of sensible value and entering the ultra-luxury tier. The data shows these ships cost about 60% more than the luxury tier. We are jumping from $500 a day to $800 or $900. Why? What do you get for that extra money? You get invisibility. You get a ship that feels half empty even when it's full. You get a butler who irons your newspaper, metaphorically mostly. Number 3, the Silver Dawn. This is a Muse-class ship from Silversea. The price is $610 per day. The hook here is the Ocean Wellness Program. It is inspired by the lifestyle of ancient Rome. Now, think about Romans. They didn't run on treadmills. They bathed, they ate, they socialized, and they ruled the world. That is the vibe here. And yes, you get a butler for every suite. Even if you book the smallest suite, you have a gentleman named Jeeves or something similar who will unpack your suitcase. There is something profoundly humbling and wonderful about watching another man perfectly organize your socks by color. It frees up your brain to think about more important things, like lunch. Number 2 is the Regent Seven Seas Grandeur. Grandeur. If the Silver Dawn is ancient Rome, the Grandeur is Versailles. This is the splurge. $795 per day. But remember, the Regent is the most inclusive line in the world. Laundry included, shore excursions included, Wi-Fi included, the scotch in your minibar included, sunsets included, and the ship itself, it is a masterpiece of marble and crystal. They actually have a Fabergé egg on display, a permanent installation. Think about that. They put a Fabergé egg on a boat. That is the definition of unnecessary, which makes it the definition of luxury. It has a 1-to-1 staff-to-guest ratio. That means for every passenger, there is a crew member plotting how to make them happy. It is intense. It is wonderful. But my number one pick, the ship that actually made me gasp when I saw the deck plans, is the Silver Ray. This is the future. It's a Nova-class ship, a 2024 novelty. The architects did something radical. They threw away the rulebook. The ship is asymmetrical. Usually the pool is in the middle, enclosed, looking at the other people. On the Silver Ray, the pool deck opens to the side, facing the ocean. You are connected to the sea, not trapped in a canyon of deck chairs. And for the foodies, they have the SALT Lab, S-A-L-T. Sea and Land Taste. It is a culinary laboratory. If you are sailing past the Azores, you aren't eating frozen pizza. You are learning how to salt cure fish the way the Portuguese do. It is immersive. It is the ultimate stealth wealth play. It is modern, it is spacious, and at $945 US plus, you are paying for the privilege of pure, uninterrupted horizon. So there you have it. 3 ways to save money and 3 ways to burn it. But burn it with style. Luxury isn't about the swan towel. It's about the space. It's about the silence. And it's about the decision to be inefficient for 2 weeks. Now I have made my choice. The deposit is paid, the suit is pressed. If you were paying attention to the spoiler alert in my last video, you probably already know which of these 6 I have booked for myself. I'll be the one in the lounge, not the one on the waterslide. If you haven't figured it out yet, or you want to see exactly why that specific ship won my heart, check out this video right here. I'll see you on board. Cheers!